I'm back. Finally. 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 I'm just checking if the live is working. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. Welcome to the people of 2026. Grand Theft Auto 6 is literally around the corner. They've said many stuff about it, bro. They're gonna release it on Netflix. Hey, let me switch this off actually. Hold on. Okay, this is not. Hold on. Ah, there we go. The chat was non-existent, so I had to put it in. Today we're going to be discussing Grand Theft Auto 6, possible leaks, theories, lore, the whole shebang. So strap up, tune in. Wait, hold on. This is like. There we go. Is that even good? Hold on. I don't know. I don't know. Should I? Is the chat good there? I think it's good there. We're gonna be discussing Grand Theft Auto 6, bro. Grand Theft Auto 6, one of the most anticipated games of all freaking time, bro. I can't wait for that game. I played GTA. That was the first game I played on this channel. But the first game I've ever played in real life, I'd say GTA 4, and then San Andreas second, and then 5 third. It was the last GTA I played. And then Red Dead Redemption. That's like the latest Rockstar title I've played. GTA 6 is gonna move mountains. And we're gonna watch a few videos from a very cool, what's his name? Sav, a very cool YouTuber. His name is Sav, bro. And he's very underrated. Okay, I don't know if he's underrated. He has quite a lot of following. I'm underrated. I'm underrated. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Sav's videos. Let's switch to this. Yeah, there we go. Now my chat isn't showing here. Why isn't my chat showing? I don't know why my chat isn't showing, bro. Chat keeps disappearing. Why do you guys keep disappearing? Huh? Why do you guys keep disappearing, bruh? Like dead ass. Like actually dead ass. Like dead ass. Put you guys up here. Go up here. I don't know. I think up here makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put you up here. It's only fair. Yeah, let's carry on. This is who I was watching, and I thought, let me just boot up stream so I can actually, so we can both see who we're watching. This is who we're watching. Holy smokes! There was a 3-hour video that I wanted to watch on stream about the locations of GTA 6. Where is that freaking video? Mind you, I haven't watched any of these. My brother uses the account to watch his stuff, so he just sent me this as a recommendation that I should watch all of this stuff. And there was a 3-hour video that he said I should watch on the location of GTA 6. I can't find it. Hold on. This one. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Should I watch full screen? This is the one.
And sunglasses.
Let's go all the way to the beginning, bro. We're gonna be discussing Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay.
Need to run Windows on your Mac? Parallels Desktop makes it simple to integrate Windows apps into your macOS workflow. Install Windows in minutes and stay productive without hassle. Run the apps you need, when you need them, with full compatibility with the latest macOS and Windows. Get the best of both worlds. Download Parallels Desktop today. Get the best of both worlds. Download Parallels Desktop today. Get the best of both worlds. Download Parallels Desktop today.
Think beauty. Think Take-A-Lot. Shop anything you can imagine on Take. Think beauty. Think Take-A-Lot. Shop anything you can imagine on Take.
I've spent hundreds
Okay, videos titled Everything We Know About GTA 6, the GTA 6 map in 3 hours, deep dive.
of hours researching absolutely everything we can find about the GTA 6 map of Leonida and its surrounding areas. Everything from what we know about it to what these places are based on and much more. Now I've decided to combine everything into the ultimate location deep dive, and this video is going to cover all of it. We're going to be looking at Grass Rivers, the surrounding ocean, Mount Calaga, Ambrosia, Port Gellhorn, Vice City itself, and then I'm going to take you beyond what's been confirmed into what Rockstar is likely hiding around the map. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we cover all things GTA 6, from location deep dives like this one to Rockstar's patents, news updates, and lots more. If that's your jam, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every single week. If you get anything out of this video, please gently poke the like button. I'm Sav. This ain't your average YouTube clickbait. Let's dive in.
What up, Sav? What up, Sav?
Leonida is going to be a very special place with a lot of diversity in people, places, vehicles, animals, and much more. So we're starting a short series diving deep into the natural world of GTA 6, outside the city limits, using everything we have while adding a little bit of grounded speculation to fill in the gaps. We're starting today with what is probably the most fascinating biome in the entire game, the Grass Rivers. So Rockstar's own description of this place calls it the untamable jewel of Leonida's crown. Grass Rivers sits south and southwest of Vice City, and it's Rockstar's take on the Florida Everglades, one of the most unique ecosystems on the planet. The real Everglades covers roughly 2 million acres of subtropical wetland in central and south Florida. It was actually the first national park in the US created specifically to protect...
Hold on. Let me make my face bigger, bruh. Hold on. I think that's better.
Biodiversity rather than scenery. And the defining feature of it, the thing that gives the Everglades its nickname, the River of Grass, is that it's not really a swamp in the traditional sense. It's an extremely slow-moving sheet of water, barely a few inches deep in places, spreading across a landscape that barely rises above sea level. That's the world Rockstar is building, and from what we've seen, they've nailed it. So back in May of 2025, Rockstar dropped around 70 official screenshots on their website after the delay announcement. And if you know what to look for, there's a ridiculous amount of detail hidden inside those screenshots. So let's walk through the ones that give us the best look at Grass Rivers. So starting off with one of my favorites. In this screenshot, you have a bit of eco-diversity.
Oh, this is exciting,
We have a couple
bro.
of gators here in the water
Look
of
at how
different
real this
sizes,
look.
indicating variety and species. You also have some herons here standing in the water. And on the other side, you have these two rodent-looking creatures, which are most likely nutria, also known as swamp rats, that can grow up to sizes of 40 inches and even 40 pounds. And in the
Yeah.
back there, partially hidden in the sawgrass, you have what looks like two larger mammals of different species. Some kind of deer on the right, and I think maybe a boar on the left. We even have some birds in the sky here. So there's a lot of different animals in this one screenshot, but that isn't even the most interesting.
Bro. This place looks so much. Is this you can't tell me this is a screenshot from GTA 6, dude. Are we serious right now, bro? This is insane. This car looks real. This is
Because the focus of this screenshot is actually these two fellas in this pickup truck, which I think is a Bravado Bison, and they're hauling a trailer full of dead alligators. It's worth mentioning a couple of things that I noticed here. One, the truck has a matte finish camo paint job, which might be a clue as to how deep the customization goes in this game. But it's also interesting that this guy is standing in the truck bed with a rifle. It got me wondering whether this is a one-off situation or are truck beds being utilized more in this game. We did see the guys in the back of the pickup truck in trailer 2 when Jason's
that's
driving down the
sick.
highway.
I think because I think you need mods for GTA 5. You need such specific mods to let your friends sit at the back of a truck. I don't know. I've never actually. Oh no, I don't think so. Because in one of the missions for GTA 5, Trevor's assistant, I forgot his name. The one that talks like this all the time and always hangs out with Trevor. That one. He's the one who actually sat at the back of a pickup truck in one mission with Trevor when we were trying to find the biker gang.
But these guys are
So it's
clearly
not new.
being chased by what look like
I
cops.
thought it was.
But there is some nuance here.
I thought it
These
was.
aren't regular law enforcement officers. So in the background of this shot, what at first glance looks like a normal airboat is actually more than likely two more law enforcement officers of a group called POACH, an acronym for
Poach?
Protection of Animals and Controlled Hunting. Think of these guys as Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation or the National Park Service. Basically, wildlife cops. They specialize in busting illegal hunting activity or other crimes that endanger or cause harm to wildlife.
What the freak? Ah. Stupid ads, bro. Stupid ads.
Or dealing with wildlife that could cause harm to humans. If we zoom in and we squint our eyes, we can barely make out a light bar on top of the fan on this airboat. And admittedly, it's difficult to see some details at this distance, but it does appear that these guys are wearing uniforms and there's a small round logo on the front of the airboat. The
How
logo
can you
looks to
see
be about
that?
the same shape and color as the logo that appears on the screen in the bottom left-hand corner of this clip in trailer 1. You can see that this is the official social media account of Poach, and there's a gentleman here removing an alligator from some locals' pool. So given the context of the
hell?
scene with these two 4x4 government vehicles with flashing lights and the wee-woos, the helicopter with a spotlight and what might be a door gunner, and this airboat in the background, it's safe to say that this is likely Poach catching some poachers, which is actually a real problem in the real Florida Everglades. Every year, hundreds of alligators are killed illegally, but it's not just alligators. U.S. Fish and Wildlife and the FWC have targeted turtle trafficking and freshwater turtle poaching because turtles and eggs can fetch high prices in the pet and meat trade. Miami, funny enough, actually has an underground black market in wild birds with undercover operations seizing hundreds of illegally traded birds in one sting. This is totally the kind of thing that Rockstar could and likely is going to touch on in some way, shape, or form. I mean, they already have a government organization called Poach. What's to say that there won't be missions involving poaching in some way, whether we're doing the poaching ourselves or hunting the poachers? And on a side note, people have been wondering about what we're going to do with hunted game in GTA 6. The point's been made that in Red Dead Redemption 2, the meat was sold or used as means of survival in the late 1800s. But now with modern day grocery stores, there isn't a huge need for hunted game. But in a place like Leonida, having vendors that sell either legally or illegally obtained game could be an interesting way to keep players engaged in one of the more beloved activities in recent Rockstar games. Now this screenshot right here is also one of my favorites. This is an overhead shot of an airboat hovering over some dark water with some gators. But I want you to look at a couple of things here. First, count the gators. I found 5, and they're all moving towards the boat.
5?
But look at how they're moving through the lily pads and the duckweed on the surface. You can actually see the vegetation parting around their bodies as they push through it, leaving these clear channels in the water behind.
Holy smokes, it's raining hard. I could hear it through my earphones. And my headphones are like noise cancelling. I don't think the mic can pick it up, but it's loud. It's been cold here in Joburg. I think it's been cold the whole of SA. It's been snowing in parts of SA, which is nuts. I mean, it's not new, but comes to show how cold this cold front is. How are you guys actually keeping warm, to be honest? How are you guys keeping warm? I'm curious to know.
Them. That is the Rage 9 fluid simulation doing its thing, and honestly it looks insane. Now look at the boat itself. The guy in the red shirt with the mullet is aiming what looks like a double-barrel shotgun at the nearest gator. There's also a bucket in the front of the boat that looks like it could be bait or chum, which would explain why all 5 alligators are moving towards the airboat and not away from it. And there's also a flashlight on the seat, and that's a spotlighting tool, which is something hunters use at night to locate animals. You can shine it along the surface of the Everglades and see the reflection of the green eyes just above the surface. And then the last thing I noticed is that the front deck of this airboat has this worn, partially faded camo paint on it, which has me wondering, are we going to be able to customize these airboats or just boats in general? Which brings us to this shot. We have 3 characters, a dead alligator, and what looks like a dead bobcat at the feet of this woman here.
Bro.
The guy on the right has a super scraggly beard, an arrowhead necklace, muddy shorts, tall mud-caked boots, and what looks like an M14. The woman in the middle is wearing cowboy boots and a bikini top. And then the guy on the left has a mullet and sunglasses, and his foot is propped up on the head of a dead gator with a camo
one
rifle,
looks super
likely
real,
an
like the
AR-10,
skin.
sitting across his lap, leaned up against the airboat.
Look at his freaking skin, bro. Look at the light, the way the light's reflecting off his skin and parts of the skin where you would expect light to like precede shadows. I don't even know what the freak I'm saying. Rockstar, you outdid yourself. You outdid many games, and you're probably going to be the benchmark once again for the most realistic games ever created.
Now look at what's stacked up on the right side of the frame. You have
Holy
3 black
smokes.
plastic wrapped rectangular packages, which are most likely drugs or money, and sitting on top of them, a small round green tin can.
Drugs?
That's a can of dip. And if you zoom in, you can read the name Yukon on the side. Now this might be a consumable similar to the cigars and cigarettes from Red Dead Redemption 2. Now these folks here on this airboat are what I would call the Gladesman type crew. They're kind of a multi-generational swamp culture that's existed in the real Everglades for over a century. They're hunters, trappers, guides who live off the land and operate on their own terms. In GTA 6, they're running numbered.
Ah, stupid freaking ads. I should pay for
EVE
YouTube Premium, bro.
Online is a
Word to
vast
my mother, bro.
universe.
It's not even that
Alive with the
expensive. How much
unrelent-
is it?
The airboat
How much is YouTube Premium, bro? R81. I could pay that per month. I think I could pay that, bro.
fleets hunting gators commercially and probably doing some things that aren't strictly legal.
But for
after
YouTube,
dark. It was
no.
actually very common back in the 80s for Gladesmen to fish by day and run drugs. It was actually very common back in the 80s for Gladesmen to fish by day and run drugs.
Hold on.
drugs by night. There's actually an entire town in the Everglades called Everglades City, which lost 80% of its male population back in 1983 to prison for running marijuana. I can't imagine Rockstar being Rockstar would gloss over something like this, and the drugs being on the airboat is a good sign that they're paying attention. And then we have Watson Bay. You've got these stilted waterfront buildings sitting right over the water, a lodge structure off to the left, and then that central building in the middle with all the colorful umbrellas looks to be some kind of restaurant or bar, and it's absolutely packed with NPCs. To the right of it, you have a 2-story
Bro.
motel, and
Imagine all these rooms are enterable. All these rooms are enterable. I heard that 70% of this game, you can have enterable buildings. You know how many buildings there are in this game? Nuts. Aye. No other way.
in the background, you can just make out Vice City skyline. The detail in this shot is a lot to take in. You have the weather-stained pilings, the broken dock posts, seagulls sitting on top of those posts, ducks floating around in the water, bits of debris drifting underneath the buildings, and then there's a center console boat drifting out in the water with 4 people on it, and it looks like 2 of them are fishing. If you zoom in and look up at the balconies and kind of pan around, you can find numerous solo NPCs just kind of leaning up against the railing or sitting in chairs. Now, it's worth mentioning that Watson
I haven't
Bay
seen
is
a lot
actually
of these
visually
screenshots,
inspired
bro.
by Cedar Key. It's actually really close to what Cedar Key looks like. It's a real stilted waterfront town on Florida's Gulf Coast, but it's been placed roughly where Everglades City would sit relative to Miami. So let's talk about animals,
Everglades.
because Grass Rivers is going to be one of the most diverse wildlife environments that Rockstar has ever built. The real Everglades has over 360 bird species, around 300 different fish species, 50 plus reptiles, and 40 plus mammals. 36 of those species are threatened or endangered.
That's
it is
crazy.
A dense, layered, genuinely complex ecosystem.
Oh, I hate
based on
those-
what
I
we
hate
know
those
about GTA
snakes.
6's confirmed
I hate
animal
snakes in
base.
general.
And what we've spotted in the footage, Grass Rivers is going to reflect that. You're looking at alligators as the headline animal, of course, but the real Everglades has over 200,000 of them, along with crocodiles in the brackish water near the coast, snakes, frogs, turtles, iguanas, and then for mammals, you have deer, boars, raccoons, foxes, small rodents, panthers, or cougars, and bobcats.
Cougars?
We've already seen a dead bobcat
Cougars
in the cruise
Benjamin.
screenshot. Birds are going to be everywhere. Herons, egrets, spoonbills, wood storks, ducks, gulls, pelicans, and at the coastal river mouths where the fresh water meets the ocean, you'll likely have sharks, dolphins, and manatees. Rockstar themselves said
Manatees.
gators are the most famous attraction, but there are far deadlier predators and weirder discoveries among the mangroves, according to their website. Far deadlier? That's a big tease. But one more thing is worth mentioning. The Everglades has a serious invasive species problem
it's just
in real
flat
life.
land.
The Burmese python has established a breeding population there and is genuinely disrupting the ecosystem. Like, it's a big problem. It would be surprising if Rockstar didn't include something like that in Grass Rivers. Imagine being able to hunt 20-foot snakes and get paid for it. Rockstar, don't fail me now. Beyond wildlife,
Well, we did that in
Grass
Red Dead
Rivers
Redemption,
is going
no?
to be populated with some very distinct human archetypes. The Air Gator Gladesman crews are obviously a big one that we've already
Swamp
talked about. And
gangs.
of course, Poach and other protection agencies, which are going to be difficult to navigate, especially if you're
Poach.
out there doing anything illegal involving poaching or hunting. But Watson Bay also has
Bro.
its own ecosystem of locals. You have fishermen, dock
Bro, my freaking shoulder is not shouldering. My shoulder is not shouldering. It's so sore. Ow.
workers, bar staff, small town cops, and then there's the criminal side of the wetlands, which is like smugglers, poachers, traffickers, all using the remoteness of the marsh the way it's been used in real South Florida for decades. And then there's the Seminole and the Muckasuki people, the real tribes who
Muckasuki.
retreated into the Everglades during the Seminole Wars and never surrendered. They're actually known as the unconquered people. Fun fact, alligator wrestling, which you might associate with tourist traps, actually originated as a native-run live capture method before becoming a cultural attraction. That kind of
Oh,
depth
really?
is exactly what Rockstar tends to fold into their worlds. Rockstar's own description promises weirder discovery.
These freaking ads. I don't know. Maybe I'll spend the 82 rand. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This ad thing
among
has
the
to stop.
mangroves,
Bro.
and they're not being subtle about it. The real Everglades has a rich tradition of urban legends and genuine criminal mystery. It's been a dumping ground for bodies tied to Miami's drug wars for years. There's also stories of abandoned drug planes rusting in the remote marsh, and some of those are real. Flight 401, for example, was a commercial plane that crashed in the Everglades in 1972, and it generated ghost stories that spread for years. And then there's the skunk ape, the Everglades' own version of Bigfoot, with actual roadside souvenir stands and research centers built around reported sightings. Rockstar has a track record here. Red Dead Redemption 2's Bayou gave you the night folk with strange encounters and a deep feeling of unease. GTA 5 had cryptid content and mystery missions. Grass Rivers is clearly positioned to be a successor to all of that. It could mean occult ritual sites hidden in the mangroves, abandoned drug infrastructure with landing strips,
Cult
stash
ritual
houses,
sites.
remote docks, strange lights over the water at night, and some version of a swamp cryptid that the locals whisper about. Airboat travel is going to be central to navigating the Everglades, with high-speed chases through narrow channels, cutting through lily pads, throwing up spray on the shallow flooded tracks. The fluid dynamics in the Rage 9 system are specifically designed for this. Wakes cutting through vegetation, boats displacing the water physically, and if that overhead gator shot is anything to go by, it's going to look and feel like nothing we've
Holy.
experienced before in a Rockstar game. Hunting is hopefully going to be a major activity. Legal gator tours,
This is
illegal
nuts.
poaching runs, delivering carcasses, dealing with wildlife agencies, varmint and predator hunting across the marsh, rare animal encounters that could turn deadly if you're not
Wait,
careful.
hold on. They said
Varmint
there's
and
going to be a
predator
lot of
hunting across the
social
marsh,
media.
rare animal encounters that could turn deadly if you're not careful, fishing out of Watson Bay, running errands for the town, stumbling across derelict boats and down planes in the remote marsh. That's the ambient exploration layer that I think Rockstar is going to nail. And then the mystery content, which I suspect is going to go deep. I think weather could honestly transform this biome in ways the city never experiences. Heavy rain could drastically change visibility and routing. Maybe a full storm event in the Grass Rivers could cause massive flooding to access routes, disturbing the wildlife and temporarily reshaping the landscape. Maybe that's a pipe dream. Either way, Grass Rivers is more than just a swamp on the edge of Vice City. It's Rockstar's most ambitious ecosystem since Red Dead Redemption 2's Bayou, and based on the tech behind it, it's likely
Wow.
to surpass that entirely. The diversity of wildlife, the layered human cultures, the criminal history baked into the DNA of these real places it's based on, and the mysteries they've already told us are waiting in the mangroves. This is a biome that's going to reward exploration in a way that GTA has never quite managed before. So I started my search looking at the inspiration that Rockstar has to work with, because the ocean off of the coast of Florida, specifically the waters around the Keys, is not your average stretch of open water. The Florida Keys sit at a convergence of two entirely different bodies of water. You have the Gulf of Mexico to the north and west, and the Atlantic Ocean to the south and east. And these two bodies of water have completely different temperatures, different currents, different depths, and different ecosystems. The water itself behaves differently depending on which side of the island you're on. And then you have the reef, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Florida has the only living coral reef system in the entire continental United States, and it runs roughly 360 miles from the Dry Tortugas all the way up towards Palm Beach. Now, this particular reef, called
Does
the
that
Florida Reef
explain
Tract,
Bermuda
supports
Triangle?
a massive
The fact that
amount
it's
of
so
marine
deep?
life, from fish, invertebrates, coral, sponges, sea turtles, sharks, rays, eels, dolphins, all of it. And it's actually one of the most biologically dense environments on the planet, and most of it sits in relatively shallow water. Now, the ocean floor surrounding the Keys isn't particularly boring either. The geography is incredibly diverse. As you move off to the shallow reef flats, you find yourself in sandy channels between the islands on the western side. But if you head east, the bottom drops away rather sharply into the Florida Straits with depths of over 6,000 feet
Sure.
just a few miles offshore. And sitting right at that edge is the Gulf Stream, which is one of the most powerful ocean currents on Earth, pushing warm blue water up from the Caribbean. Now, that current is exactly why the Keys have the ecosystem that they do. So if Rockstar applies this underwater topography to the oceans of GTA 6, it sets up each one of those areas as its own unique ecosystem. And
Yo,
scattered
that's
across the-
nuts. Imagine having different activities within a game while playing a game. The possibilities are endless. You can go hunting, because when I played Red Dead Redemption, there's a variety of activities you could do that you could get lost in. You can spend years in. Now, Rockstar is doing this. Yeah, it's wrapped, bro.
The entirety of the Keys are centuries
It's
worth of
wrapped.
shipwrecks. The islands here have been a navigational hazard since the first Europeans tried sailing through it. This place has been destroying ships for nearly 500 years. As a matter of fact, the NOAA, or the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, keeps track of what they call Shipwreck Trail in the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. And there are hundreds of shipwrecks here, from the early 1600s exploratory expeditions to the more modern examples of downed drug planes. Now, the waters around the Florida Keys are home to somewhere in the range of about 6,000 different species of marine life. Now, obviously, Rockstar is not creating a nature documentary here, so I certainly wouldn't expect 1/10 of these being represented in GTA 6, but it is worth mentioning just how diverse the ecosystem really is. And for context, the entire Amazon rainforest has around 3,000 species of freshwater fish. The reef system running alongside the Keys has double that in total marine species across every category. And Rockstar has already shown us some of this. The official underwater screenshot shows a sea turtle, eel, and a school of reef fish alongside the divers on this coral patch. But that isn't all. Between all the screenshots and trailer footage that we have, we can find at least 28 different appearances of either sharks, dolphins, manatees, or sea turtles, and the ocean in GTA 6 seems to be teeming with life. Now, some of you may know that I have both a serious appreciation for sharks, accompanied with a deep and irrational fear of being eaten by one, thanks to movies like Jaws and Deep Blue Sea. It's so bad, actually, that the fear follows me to video game. The idea that sharks are more plentiful in GTA 6 and GTA 5 has me both excited for the diversity, but also a little worried about how embarrassing my reaction to seeing one is going to be on my first live stream. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Get on the boat. Get on the boat. You're not going to want to miss that, I promise. But in the screenshots and the trailers, we can see them lurking in the blue just beneath the surface in screenshots like this one, or drifting just off the beach waiting for someone to wander a bit too far from shore in the trailer footage. Florida has more shark species in its waters than almost anywhere in the world. We're talking bull sharks, nurse sharks, hammerheads, blacktips, lemon sharks, baby sharks, tiger sharks. Of the bunch, the two more dangerous
many
species
sharks.
and more prone to shark attacks would be the tiger shark and the bull shark. Now, tiger sharks are known for their aggressive nature and willingness to eat just about anything. I know this because I watch Jaws, and I'm not an uncultured swine.
A what?
The bull shark, however, is known for its ability to survive in both saltwater and freshwater. Yes, you heard that correctly. Fun fact, the bull shark has been found in rivers and even lakes miles inland, like hundreds of miles inland.
Is it true that if you place a fish or a shark in fresh water, unsalted water, it's gonna die?
Now, beyond sharks, you've got the barracuda, which are aggressive and territorial around reefs. I don't know if we'll see those. Moray eels, which we've already seen in the screenshot, tucked into coral heads. And even the American crocodile, which is more rare than their gator cousins, but they've been spotted in the brackish water near the coastline for centuries. In addition to the more dangerous creatures, there are more docile or playful ones. For example, dolphins. And they are everywhere in Florida. In fact, the bottlenose dolphin in particular is so common in the Keys that the locals barely even notice them anymore. And then you have manatees that move through shallow, warm water channels. They're also referred to as sea cows for being so fat, slow, and gentle. And I want to mention that manatees are indeed protected animals in Florida.
They
And
got
that could be a
thick
great
boys
element
under
to
the water
poach
there.
system that we discussed in the last
They
graphic.
all thick. Hold on. Look at this. What the hell?
Animals in Florida, and that could be a great element to the poach system that we discussed in the last Grass Rivers video. Now, I think it's pretty plausible to assume that this other government agency responsible for wildlife would get a bit disgruntled to see you toss a grenade into the water with a herd of manatees. Or is
I
it a
want to
school
try that
manatee?
so bad.
Or a pod. Either way, you get what I'm saying though. They're not gonna like it. And it's probably not gonna stop at manatees. Florida has a well-established framework of marine protection laws covering sea turtles, certain shark species, and of course, overly regulated fishing methods. Now, it would make sense for GTA 6 to reflect some dumbed-down version of that. Now, I don't want to be harassed by a game warden because I have too many lines in the water, but it would be cool to see them react to shooting a protected species. But if Rockstar even builds a fraction of this into the ocean ecosystem the way that they built the Grass Rivers wildlife, and it kind of looks like they have, the water in GTA 6 is going to feel like somewhere you actually want to spend your time. So Florida is known for one thing aside from alligators and Scarface. It would be its unique population, also known as the Florida Man. Now, we covered a bit of the swamp culture in the Grass Rivers episode, so today we're going to be talking about the tourists, the Salt Life Gang, and every other kind of NPC that you can expect to run into while frolicking in the saltwater around Leonida. Florida beach culture has two very distinct flavors, and both of them are going to be on full display in the Keys. If you've ever been to Florida on vacation, you know that you have two very different beach types. You have, of course, your locals, the folks who have spent so much time in the sun that their skin looks like cracked leather cowboy boots, and then you've got your classic tourists, the Midwestern American family, pale as a gallon of milk, absolutely smothered in SPF 100, and taking pictures of everything. And both of these people exist on and around the beaches in enormous numbers. Now, from a gameplay and immersion standpoint, there appears to be a tanning and sunburn system in Grand Theft Auto 6. If you look at Jason in the opening shots of trailer 2, you can see a visible sunburn on his skin, and he's also very sweaty. Now, when
Muscular
you combine
white
those variables
man.
with what is already a clearly massive and diverse NPC design pool, the problem of repeating NPC models becomes a thing of the past. Every person on that beach will likely look unique and like they belong there thanks to one of the many patents that Rockstar has filed, and we've covered that in previous videos. Along there,
Look at how real this entire scene is. This entire cutscene is. Look at how real it is. Idiots are gonna drive through this plain of beach sand just to satisfy their hunger for gore. I don't know why they're gonna do it, but it doesn't make sense. Just enjoy, appreciate Rockstar's creation, trying to emulate real life into a video game. It just reflects how much of a murderer you want to become, bro. And you just,
thanks to one
at
of
the end of the day, it's free
the
will.
many patents
It's a
that
game.
Rockstar has
It's free
filed,
will.
and we've covered that in previous videos. I'll put a link in the description. There's actually a beach police department confirmed in the material, referred to as the Vice Beach Police Department. And we
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story.
can actually see an officer in a beach uniform in the 2022 leaks. And lifeguard towers suggest that there will also be lifeguards on duty. Now, whether they interact with a drowning individual or they call out a shark when they see one in the water remains to be seen, but we do know that they'll at least be around. Now, moving off the sand and onto the water, the yacht party scene in South Florida seems to be represented well in both screenshots and trailer footage. We can see large private yacht parties and gatherings of smaller vessels on the water enjoying the sun, music, and good times. We'll likely be able to interact with these, pull up, drop anchor, turn on the radio, and start jamming out and hanging out with people, or climbing onto some of these vessels and robbing people or doing other horrible things. God knows
Not
what you
surprised.
guys. But the point is, there's going to be yacht parties everywhere, bigger yachts, smaller yachts, plenty of NPCs to interact with out on the water. Fishermen are also going to be everywhere, from a guy with a rod and a cooler at the end of the pier to the center console bros, and I can even see Rockstar recreating this.
There's a rod in his hand. What are you doing? You have a shark?
Beyond that, the ocean opens up into some genuinely unpredictable territory, and Rockstar can take it any direction
Seals.
they want. For example, you may not know that there are modern-day pirates pulling up in speedboats and stealing your valuables in 2026.
You know, pirates, I thought pirates would actually dress completely different to whatever this is. I didn't know pirates would dress as, you know, my friend from the supermarket. But pirates, when I was young, I used to think that pirates were dressed up as Captain from Pirates of the Caribbean. Literally.
This is actually so common in the open waters between the Bahamas and coastal Florida that those familiar with making that trip do so with firearms. Now, when it comes to random encounters, which we know Rockstar loves to do, we actually have a lot to go on. From the 2022 leak document, there's a list of recorded world events and environmental objects pulled directly from the game files. Now, none of these are officially confirmed features, and that was 4 years ago, but it does kind of give you an idea where Rockstar's head is at when they're designing these things. Some are just ambient environmental details, like a stalled or abandoned boat. They may be set dressing, they may also be a random encounter or a side mission start. But some look a little bit more interesting, like shark cage, message in a bottle or a giant clam, but it's the underwater discoveries that
Wow.
really get me excited, like sunken World War II planes or this King Neptune listed as underwater ruins, whatever that means. I mean, are we talking mermaids? And then there's partially submerged sculptures, a rum bottle shipwreck, Kingfisher's cargo, which in and of itself sounds like a salvage mission. And again, who knows which of these are going to make it into the game, but knowing about them helps you imagine a finished product and what is possible. Now, I can think of some really good ideas for random encounters. Rockstar, if you need any ideas, hit me up. I'm available. But my mind goes to things like stranded boaters or divers, engine failures, people separated from their dive boat, maybe someone that drifted too far on a current. And in addition to that, I think Rockstar would be crazy not to give us some form of treasure hunting, but not just as an activity, as a faction as well. I mean, think about it. Taking out the head of a treasure hunting organization just so we can swoop in and claim it for ourselves or the person we work for is classic Rockstar storytelling. By the way, if you haven't seen
This
a movie
video
like
was
Fool's
3
Gold
hours
or
long.
Into the Blue,
This video is 3 hours long, bro. Long day.
recommend them. You need to go watch those. It'll really help
day,
add
bro.
flavor context to what I'm talking about here. Now, treasure hunters are a legitimate subculture in the Keys. People with metal detectors, dive gears, specifically looking
Yo,
for wrecked
people love
cargo and
GTA.
Spanish colonial
3-hour
coins.
video. Are you serious? This is more than a movie.
We could also expect to see other groups or random encounters, like
Aye, people
research
are
vessels
serious.
or marine biology expeditions, cruise ships moving through shipping
respect the
lanes,
craft.
and then there's the criminal element. For example, the smugglers running product through the Gulf on cigarette boats, or the Brian Heater-like characters running the operations. And we've already discussed poach ad nauseum at this point, but it wouldn't surprise me to see other agencies out on the water, like maybe the Coast Guard or even the Navy. But for any of this to actually feel real, like moment to moment, the ocean needs a living traffic system, like civilian boats moving between islands, harbor ferries, commercial barges, charter vessels heading out at dawn. Not just a few props bobbing in the distance, but actual density that makes the water feel used and lived on, like Florida culture. Now, I think some of the most exciting things about the water in GTA 6 is the potential for some really interesting and dynamic activities that we've never experienced before in a Rockstar game. Things that would be really easy for Rockstar to expand on from previous games or introduce for the first time with this one. But let's start with boats, because the watercraft situation in GTA 6 is already looking like nothing the series has ever done before. From what we can piece together across trailers, screenshots, and official material, we can actually account for quite a few aquatic vehicle types. You have your classic center consoles, speedboats, cigarette boats, yachts, airboats, jet skis, kayaks, and many, many more that have all been confirmed already. For context, most GTA games ship with maybe a dozen boat types total. We are already well past that just from what Rockstar has chosen to show us thus far. Now, I believe that Rockstar has several reasons for doing this, and we're going to dive deeper into this in a moment, but the technology Rockstar now has for simulating these ocean environments almost certainly requires them to give us more reason to go explore them. Also, it's Florida. Well, Leonida. But the boat culture in Florida is unlike any other place in the United States or even the world. Rockstar has clearly done their homework, and I expect the boat roster to be one of the more impressive vehicle categories in the game, considering that Florida is often referred to as the boat capital of the world. And since we're on the topic, I think it would be amazing if the whole vehicle purchase and customization method was completely reworked. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to be able to purchase a nice yacht and customize the interior layout and the features, and then go pick it up from some fancy marina somewhere in the Keys. Same goes for cars, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. South Florida also has one of the most legitimate offshore racing traditions in the world. So seeing big race events and participating in them could be really fun. And it's pretty obvious at this point that fishing is going to be a major activity, and honestly, it needs to be. I mean, you can't set a game in South Florida and give us like half-baked fishing mechanics. That would be a genuine disservice to the setting and the player base, and I would lose my mind if I boot up the game and it's basically Red Dead Redemption 2 style fishing mechanics with no major overhauls. This is Florida, okay? You can't whiff on this. We know that you can fish with a rod and reel. We have a screenshot of Jason literally doing that. But you've got your casual dock fishing, your inshore reef fishing, crabbing, spear fishing, and then your offshore blue water fishing, chasing marlin, sailfish, and mahi out along the Gulf Stream. Each one of these styles includes a different species, a different gear setup, a different location, and a different approach. And while I can't say with any certainty that every major fishing activity will be represented in GTA 6, it absolutely needs to be more significant and developed than Red Dead Redemption 2, or I'm going to riot. Now, I will say the spear gun appears in the 2022 leaked footage, which is encouraging that Rockstar has considered this and at very least has given us the ability to shoot things with it. Now, whether that is below the surface of the waves or at a red light, that will likely be your choice. What I'm personally hoping for, and I will be devastated if it's not in the game, is a proper marina economy.
Dude, there's this kid that's he's trending on TikTok. He has a lung problem. And he made a post on TikTok. He said something about, I think the caption said, bro, I just want to play GTA 6. And he's literally like on the hospital bed with like cables stuck up his nose. The video has like over 3 million views and stuff. He has a procedure that he has to go through. Brother, it looked like he might not survive, but they threw in donations at him and hopefully he recovers. This dude is young. He's 25, bro. And he just wants to play GTA 6. I don't know. Some people actually fake, because there was a point in time when Rockstar allowed to release, they released a copy for a certain individual that didn't have enough time to live. And I was like, yo, people are dying. All they just want to do is play this video game, bruh.
For example,
I just want to play this video game. And I get it. This is a game from Rockstar that hasn't been released since 2013. The latest title is GTA 5. From the Grand Theft Auto series. That's crazy, bro.
pull up to the dock,
That's
offload
crazy.
your catch, sell it, buy new rods, reels, bait, tackle, maybe charter a fishing trip with a boat captain or become the captain yourself and charter your own trips. But on the property side of things, marinas feel like an obvious candidate for ownable assets. For example, a slip gives you boat storage and a safe house on the water. A full marina could offer multiple slips, function as a smuggling front, a mission launch point, or just a legitimate business that generates passive income when it comes to online and owning those companies.
Atera is the IT painkiller. Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing.
The groundwork for that kind of property system already exists in GTA Online, so scaling it to include waterfront real estate in a game this focused on the ocean would kind of be a natural step forward, at least where I'm concerned. Rockstar, please let me become Brian Heater in Online. Now, there is a mention in the leaks of a bait and tackle shop, and I will say it's being associated with a gang or criminal activity. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm not sure if that's just a one-off or if we're going to actually have proper bait shops. But just as a business opportunity, I feel like that would be a whiff on Rockstar's part if it isn't more fleshed out and interactable. And I can say for certain that when RP drops, I will absolutely be opening my own fishing charter called Sav's Ultimate Banana Hammock Fishing Experience. It's going to be glorious. And speaking of roleplay, the Ocean Sandbox in GTA 6 has more long-term role potential than any water system Rockstar has ever built. I mean, persistent player-owned marinas, boat slips, maybe even houseboats as a property type, dedicated roles like charter captain, salvage diver, or Coast Guard style patrol crew, a poach warden who actually patrols protected zones.
No, this video is too long. 3 hours. Let's break it down into sections, guys. There's no way. There is no way. There is no way. I don't have that capacity, bro. There is no way. We're gonna put a pin on this one, because there is no way we're going through all 3 hours. It's just peak low. But it's just locations and like possible stuff. Sav, I'll subscribe to you, bro. Holy smokes. Very creative. He only has 55k subscribers. Amen. 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 If that was me, I'd quit my job. Chat. Welcome. Well,
As a
I
response
said
to
welcome
violate-
long ago, but Sorry, it's just insanely cold. It's very cold, bro. It's been cold for the past 3 days. The sun, we haven't seen the sun in like, yeah, days. I get frostbites just from this cold. And I'm sure this is nothing to like Europeans or something. But all I'm saying, GTA will move mountains, bro. Can't wait for that game. Do I have a PS5? No, I don't have a PS5, bro. I don't have a PS5. I don't have a PS5, bro. Not yet. At least. Not yet. But we will be there. We will be there. And we will make so much content. I heard roleplay is very easy to make content in GTA. And I can't wait for that. But I don't think they're gonna focus on GTA Online anytime soon, bro. So we're just gonna be roaming around, exploring, just like every other creator, dude. I won't lie. It's an exciting moment for creators to explore Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's more than just an open world game. It's a chance to create an income for yourself. It's a chance to diversify in many things within the game. You know, you can become a fighter in the game. You can become a beauty or salon owner. You can become a shopkeeper. You can become so many things, you know, delivery guy. It's not like they're not new, but these things have been around for years in something called Grand Theft Auto RP, roleplay, which stands for roleplay, RP. And to think that it's been in a game that came out in 2013 and still running, bro, GTA 6 is just gonna shake the world. Because number one, the graphics. The graphics. No one is gonna swipe away from a TikTok reel that they'll bump into that's GTA 6 involved or anything GTA 6 related because it's entertaining. It's visually stunning. Number two, the lore behind the story of GTA 6. Nobody's gonna skip that. There's a reason why they're releasing it on Netflix because what's his name? Is it Strauss Zelnick, whatever his name is? The CEO of Take-Two Interactive said specifically, there's a reason why we are launching this extended look in Netflix. It's gonna feel like a movie. It's gonna feel like a series, like you're actually watching something. Mind you, this is a video game. Why? Another reason why they want to put it in Netflix, they made a partnership with Netflix, but I feel like they also they're trying to fish out new gamers, people that know of GTA 6, but they don't like know much. They know of the name when you tell them GTA 6. I'm like, oh, I know that. It's a game, right? But they don't know the backrooms to GTA 6. They don't know the lore. They don't know basically the entire content within it. They just know it's a video game. That's it. That's why they're putting it on Netflix. And it's just an opportunity for them to make money, for Netflix to make money, and to bring in a lot of people that don't play games to play the GTA 6. You can start a business in GTA 6. I promise you, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a business, bro. I'm telling you. And it's going to be a legal business. All these people making illegal stuff in GTA, it's, hey, bruh, I know it's basically the game. The name is in the game. The name is in the game. I'm going to open a business, bro. And I'm going to start a club. Temwa's Nail Salon Club. It's just an example. I'll think of it. Without AI, I'll think of it later. But for now, that's pretty much it. It's a very short stream that I had. Right now I'm going to play the Crew Motorfest. You guys want to stay? There's no one's even chatting, so Let's move here. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see how good it is here. Peak. I just got this car. Very, very quick. Very quick car. We're gonna drive this car. What was that sound?
Always at your disposal.
I don't know about you. Oops. Nearly crashed my 12 million rand car. If I had the money to afford a car like this, bro. If I had the money to afford this car, dude. Trust me, I'm not buying it. There's no way I'm buying a car like this, dude. I have a family. I need to think about them. The ones that actually did something for me, not the family that didn't. I'm sorry, guys. But as a black individual, you gotta think about these things. I don't want to be selfish. Who's this? Oh, there's a Lambo here too. That's the same Lambo from... This nigga's crashed my car. Of course, I knew it. You trying to race? Let me actually use this one. Hold on. This is a better car. I basically cheated, but it's fine. I don't care. nice that you can reverse in this game, bro. Do I have that car? I don't know. Let me see. Where am I going? This way. Twin turbos. What are you gonna do, big guy? Ah! I don't think he upgrades his cars, this guy. Because that car is clearly faster than mine if it's fully upgraded. Ah. But that's it. Look at how damaged my car is. Let me see which cars I can destroy this guy with. Oh, the Super Sport. Is that electric? No boost. I'm gonna pause him. Oh, it looks like he won. It looks like he won. Yeah, he won. The Bugatti is way too heavy. There's no way we started at the exact same time. Yeah, this car is too heavy. This car is too heavy. Oh, he went all the way. He went all the way. Yeah, he's gone. Maybe I shouldn't have followed him. Maybe I should have followed. Yeah, he's gone. Yikes. I want to go full immersive mode. Yeah.